video, I will talk about Scrum. Scrum is a framework that uses different events, tools, roles, and meeting types to accomplish tasks in a timely manner. The first Scrum event is called the Product Backlog. Product Backlog is the source of truth for Scrum. This is an ordered list that will be used to decide what or how much can be accomplished in a particular sprint. A sprint is a fixed length event, typically between 1 to 4 weeks. The goal is to undertake specific tasks from the product backlog and accomplish that in the time frame. A sprint backlog is a set of selected items chosen from the product backlog for that sprint. This is made for and by the developers so that everyone in the team can get a real-time picture of what is being accomplished on a particular sprint. In Scrum, these are a few different roles that can be seen. A Scrum Master is a person who keeps everyone focused and makes sure all Scrum events are productive. A Product Manager or a Product Owner is a person who typically owns the product and decides on the requirements for the sprint. The developers and QAs are an integral part of the sprint as well. There are a few different meeting types in Scrum. During sprint planning, all members of Scrum team decide on which product items can be done during the sprint. The next meeting is Daily Scrum. The purpose of Daily Scrum or the Daily Stand-Up is to inspect progress towards the sprint goal and adjust planned work if needed. This meeting is very short and typically lasts around 10 to 15 minutes. The next meeting type is a sprint review, where the team inspects the outcome of the sprint and decide which items can be added to the next sprint. And finally, during sprint retrospective, the Scrum team talk about how the sprint went and determine ways to increase quality and effectiveness. In a nutshell, let's look at the whole sprint. A product owner creates a product backlog with all the requirements. A developer looks at the product backlog and during sprint planning meeting decides which items can be done during a sprint and creates a sprint backlog. During the sprint, every day the team gathers for a short daily stand-up to check on the status of the work. During sprint review meeting, the Scrum team looks at the sprint backlog and decides which items can be added or removed from the sprint. And finally, after the sprint is done, the teams gather in a sprint retrospective meeting to talk about what they have accomplished in the sprint and how they can work more effectively in the next sprint. I have created an animated video to explain more in details. Let's take a look at the video.
Hello there, I am the product manager. Welcome to the 2-week sprint. Let's take a look at the product backlog. In this sprint, we would like to tackle these few items. Okay, I have looked at the product backlog. However, I think we can only tackle these 4 items for this sprint. Let's create a sprint backlog. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Let's meet once every day to check on the status. Alright, let's start the daily stand-up. We will keep this short and each of us will only answer these 3 questions. What did you do yesterday? What are you going to do today? Is there any blockers? Alright. Thanks for completing the 2-week sprint. Let's look at our product backlog and see if we have missed anything. Looks like we missed 3 items. Let's put those items into the next sprint. Alright guys, thanks for completing the 2-week sprint. Let's talk about the last sprint. Looks like we have missed some items. In this meeting, we will talk about how to improve our time management skills so that we don't miss anything next sprint. Feel free to talk about anything you learned from the last sprint as well. The goal is to learn from our mistakes and create a plan for improving ourselves.
Hope this video was helpful and gave you a brief idea of Scrum. If you like my videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, don't forget to write in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.